When you stroll down memory lane between the Heat and the Celtics, you think what, Chris?
The closest thing you can get to a bar fight.
That's pretty much it, huh?
Yeah. That team, we were all tremendous competitors. We all knew the stakes coming into that, and that's what basketball competition is all about. And one of the best things was that we were all in the Eastern Conference. Sometimes when you get that kind of flavor of rivalry, sometimes it's only in the finals in the regular season, like, Magic and Bird type stuff. You only get to see it so much. With those guys, we were playing them. We figured we'd see them 8 to 10 times a year. And each time was like the playoffs. We had classic moments, but at the same time, a preseason game would be very, very intense. And, it was just great looking back on it because, playing, you want to play the best and you want to beat the best anytime, you're playing basketball, in my opinion. So it is what brings the best out in you.
Did the 2010 loss in the first round to the Celtics lead, do you think, to LeBron coming? Do you think there's a direct correlation, Chris?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I mean, sometimes when you're in situations, it's only so much you can do. And, I mean, when they've got, at the time they've got Ray Allen and Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, you can feel discouraged in the situation you're in. And with the pressure that LeBron felt, and I felt it too. I wanted to be successful and win too. And you look at a team like that, they seemed impossible to beat. I mean, they had instant success in that first year, winning it all. And they pretty much set the tone for how it was going to be in the Eastern Conference for the next 4 or 5 years. So, I mean, I can't speak to what LeBron was going through in Cleveland and stuff, but to get disappointed year after year and have that pressure on you of trying to be like Michael Jordan or Kobe or people comparing you to that, it's tough. It's a very tough position to be in.
And it's interesting that, once you finally did the next year get past the Celtics in 2011, the Heat wound up and faced the Mavericks in the finals, which is something that could absolutely happen this time around. How did that victory in 2011 propel you guys, even though you lost in the finals, but the next year you saw the Celtics again and then eventually won it all? How much did that win mean for you?
Well, we went to 7 games with the Celtics that year. I was hurt. I actually had a groin tear, which I had to come back from. And even in the game we came back from, Paul Pierce hits a shot to go up 4 with, I think it was like 4 or 5 seconds left. We lose that game, and we go down 3-2 going into Boston. The year before that, played them in the playoffs, losing in the finals. Yeah, I mean, that showed us, like, there are levels. You have to stay very steady, and, the competition changes. We kind of had a let up just a little bit, and the Mavericks were a great team, and they saw their opportunity and they beat us. They played the great basketball.
Yeah, and then 2012, you mentioned you hurt yourself in that Eastern Conference final, and the Celtics won 3 in a row. Game 6, you're in Boston. Walk me through that Eastern Conference Finals moment that led to you winning the last 2 games. LeBron was maybe the best he's ever been, would you say?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's one of definitely one of the greatest games performances I've seen in person. But yeah, he anytime you're going into Boston, you're going to be worried, right? We were worried. It was a serious situation, but you have to continue to have that faith. You have to believe. And, his doubt never wavered. I know from my perspective, I was just trying to play. I was in so much pain, I didn't know what I'd be able to give to the team. So I'm kind of in my own mind of giving everything I can. And then I just remember probably about midway through the second quarter, I realized, like, man, this guy hasn't missed. I was coming off the bench, and so I was playing the bench minutes and, playing the 5. I'm under the basket a lot. And, crashing the offensive boards. I just stopped crashing because every time I went, you could see the ball going through the net, like, wow. wow, I'm like, man, this guy, has he missed yet? And then, we're in control of the game, and we go in halftime and we're feeling good, but we still have that sense of urgency to turn it up because we know no lead is safe in the TD Garden, So we continued to play, and he just continued that stellar play. And it just felt good just to get out of Boston alive. To be honest with you, we had everything riding on that game. It had all come down to that one point because I couldn't imagine a future with that team losing. I mean, I'm sure trades would have happened. Something would have happened to shake things up. But, that just shows how great of a team we were. And you have to believe in those moments.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.